Okay. So why black is associated with banishing? We're going to stay here for a minute too.
Okay,
So
good.
a couple things. I didn't really get into the folklore too much about black, but we can look at this in a few different ways, right? So, like absorption. So, in physics, we know that black absorbs all visible light and doesn't reflect anything. And so that's why we see it as like absorbing, is like because it is like it absorbs all visible light. When we look at our cones, which helps us to see color in our eyes, like when we see black, it's because no cones in that area of your retina are activated. Like it's off. Your cones are essentially like off. So it absorbs, and then magically it's absorbing, or it pulls in unwanted energy, curses, negativity, lingering attachments, things like that. So again, kind of like the clay. Sorry, I keep bringing the clay back
No,
in here.
I like
I
the
feel like
clay.
that was
Yeah.
it's like it's absorbing. And we talked about how some of the banishing herbs are like absorbing herbs. It absorbs things so that you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how black is too. Also, associations with the night and the void. So, night marks the ending of something, the end of day. Darkness is the space where things are like dissolved or hidden or laid to rest, or like a tomb, right? And then also in a lot of traditions, the void, or like the primordial
Fear
darkness,
the
is,
void.
yeah, the void, where things were kind of like broken down before they're reborn. We can also think, I mean, we can think of this in a lot of ways. Think about like the death of things, like outside in the forest. Like an animal dies, it kind of gets broken down and absorbed into the earth, and then mycelium or whatever can kind of like chew on that, or like bacteria in the dirt breaks things down, and then things, it makes the area and the dirt and the earth more like hospitable to life, and then things, plants grow out of the dirt. But the in the dirt and in the darkness is where things are the most broken down. And
Some people
so
even like look at like the womb as like
the
the void.
womb,
As
yeah,
like yeah, it's like
yeah,
some things are like
it's
voided
like
and grow.
exactly, yeah. So then associating this with banishing, I mean, we've already talked about all of this, but with banishing we are ending things, we're pushing them away. And even with absorbing, right, we just talked about how you kind of have to pull in to be able to push away. And that's what the color black is and does and is associated with, and that's what we're trying to do for banishing. So like it makes sense. Let me just see something real quick. Okay, so then we have cultural symbolism of mourning and ending. So a lot of cultures dress in black for funerals, linking black to death and release and finality. A lot of times, black is used for like cutting ties, again, laying things to rest. We also have like this protective shield of it. It's seen as protective because it cloaks us, and it makes us invisible, especially in a dark space. um, and then like psychological weight, we see black as something typically that's like solid and boundary setting, and it's kind of like a good separation is like this darkness. We'll talk about that in a second. So, thoughts on this yet so far?
Um, yeah, I think I agree with it. I agree with, but I like black for a lot of things. So
Yeah.
like
Anytime I'm doing anything witchy, I'm in black.
exactly. So I mean, I'm not like a white magic girl.
Mm,
Like it's definitely dark.
yeah.
Like I like the black.
Yeah.
Um for kind of all these reasons actually.
Yeah.
But but I would agree with it like being like a color of like associated with death and banishing as well. Like if
Yeah. And
especially
I think also, like you said, yeah, death and banishing for sure, but also it's like the point right before creation right?
Yeah.
Like we think of the womb or like the dark moon. The dark moon we have for one night, not even a full night, honestly, if you look at like percentages of illumination for a couple of hours, but it's this space right before the moon starts waxing. And so it is this darkness and this death, but it's also the moment right before like creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. So let's talk about some things that we can use, some black things that we can use in banishing. So black or dark items, black salt, which I think I don't, that came up with a discussion with you and me before. I couldn't remember if we had already talked about, I think I told you how I make my black salt and then
Yeah, and
maybe,
there's even like I said a recipe in this, like witch's black
yeah,
salt that includes like charcoal or burnt herbs and sea salt. So
yeah. 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 And
tastes
for
really
my
good.
black salt, I usually just I burn like my incense and then I take the ash from my burned incense and then I just mix that with salt and you let it set and then that gives you I mean it's not really black, it's more like gray, but yeah, or charred herbs would be a good
Yeah.
addition to that. Black candles, black stones. I mean, I've listed some, but there's doesn't have to be black stones, but any type of dark stones. So onyx, obsidian, tourmaline, shungite, jet, kyanite. I put jet in there twice. Dark smokies.
You like
Yeah, there's a lot of dark stones. And then I just got, did I show you my new smoky? I think I did. But look at this new like smoky that I got. So I got a clear and a smoky of the same size from that guy, but look at how dark it is.
oh my goodness, I love
He
it.
doesn't ever like color or dye his stones. They're just naturally that dark. So this is like super dark natural one. Because I know a lot of people will like darken or change colors of their stones, and I don't like that. Anyways, so dark stones, black or dark ink, black sealing wax, which I know not everybody uses sealing wax. I love sealing wax though. Black altar cloths, black clothes. I mean, the list is endless,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
So now I want to talk about briefly what about white? So I did find things in which white was associated with banishing. And so it's like seeing light or white as like a purifier. So just be like black doesn't reflect any light, but white reflects all light. And so it's like reflective, it casts off, it's linked to the sun or like the moon or illumination, burning away or purifying, like thinking of it as like shining so bright that the thing that you're banishing doesn't have anywhere to hide. Um, and a lot of cultures, white is associated with cleansing, renewal, sacredness. White candles being lit, seen as washing away. Also like associated with spirits of the order or like holiness. So like in Christian, in like Christian influenced magic, white representing God or divine light or like banishing away evil. In some Buddhist traditions, white paper charms and garnets are actually used for exorcism and purifications. And then the reveal and release method, which is where like white reveals. And so you want to reveal like you want to reveal every aspect of everything that you're like getting rid of. And I think I have another one. No. So a lot of cultures actually use white for banishing. And I don't really agree, but I can see how they would come to this like conclusion. It makes sense to me, but I still like black.
Yeah, I understand the idea for sure.
Yeah.
So I like one of the things is that I'm not looking for God or divine light to
Yeah.
like banish anything or
Yeah.
like that's not like what I'm doing. So like I understand if that's what you're all about, that like white is like that whole thing. I get it about like I'm more like of a go deep instead of go bright.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you like it sounds like if you want to reveal things, you should be doing some like deep shadow work. You should
Yeah.
like I feel like anything that's if you're looking for some like immediate like revelatory thing with like some bright white revelation, like I that's always been fleeting for me.
Mm,
And it could be what's the word? Like not true, or it could be like the image could be skewed
mhm,
because like white and bright is often blinding.
mhm.
And so it's like it doesn't seem as sure to me as like it doesn't seem like a sure thing. Like I mean, even when I'm burning things away, like part of it is burning in the darkness. It's like that light in the darkness of like it's not about the light necessarily. That may be a different thing because fire scrying sounds fun and it is very interesting, but that's not what this is all about. So,
No.
um, while I see the concept and I understand the concept, it's just not my thing at all.
Yeah, not your cup of tea. Me neither. I also think that, I mean, I'm sure that it's come up at some point, but I don't think we've discussed in depth about the whole like light versus dark magic thing. But in my mind, all magic is kind of dark because in order to use our magic, we have to go within. And anytime we're going within, to me, is dark. Like we talked about with the dark moon, right? That's going within. And so to pull out your magic, you kind of have to go to that dark space within you because that's where your magic resides, right? Your magic isn't on your skin in my mind. It's not like on your skin, like you can't see it necessarily in other people, but it's within us. It's like in our cells and in our mind, and that's all inside of us, which is darkness. And so in my mind, anything that's magic is kind of darkness. And even if we're talking about manifesting or like illuminating, it's still kind of tied to our darkness because it's within us. And I think that's another reason why I wear black with anything. I mean, I might bring in some red or white candles, but like my altar cloth is always black. The clothes that I wear in ritual space are always black, you know?
Yeah, I don't know that it's for me, I love black and
Yeah.
they are a lot of times black. I may like use different colors for different things
Yeah.
symbolically for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't sometimes I use white as like white candles as like a boundary, like circle
Mhm.
candles, like as like boundary
Yeah.
candles,
Yeah.
but I just don't I'm not like every time I've like I feel like here's the problem. I feel like love and light and God's divine light type of people, like there is a whole dark side of it and it's not being acknowledged or looked at, and so it gets transferred onto the other, whoever
Yeah.
that other is.
Yeah.
There's like a whole dark aspect to it. And so it's like about like if there's a real amount of like I'm right and you're wrongness to it. There's a whole bunch of that. And like it leaves a sour taste in my mouth because I think like I said, light can be skewing. It burns your eyes. It makes you see things not necessarily correctly. And so like where like when something is dark, you have to look really hard and really carefully. You have to use a lot of power and internal power. Like when things are like if people think that they see things because of like this bright light, like they don't question. And so there's this whole dark side to light that like is always left unacknowledged. Where
Yeah.
if you're like working in the dark, you're always aware of light and light sources and fires and like as candles and everything else, even day and the moon and everything else. It's you're very aware of light. But
Yeah.
when you are like embroiled in the light, it's almost like there's like a lack of acknowledgement of the dark, like a lack of, and not only that, but like a vilification of it. And so I'm very, you know what, while if that's your thing, more power to you. I just hope that you'll give me the same turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is unlikely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I also think that the people who are all love and light are the ones that need to do the most shadow work. Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
are you so afraid of the dark? Like,
And
why?
why don't you acknowledge that within
Yeah.
yourself? Like,
Yeah.
what's the deal? Like, what? And
Yeah.
so, like, there's so much like turning over your personal power. Like, we were like, so, um, I was watching this TV show and it was about like this. I watch a lot of these with my boyfriend about like murder tapes like and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like the actual that's like a show like and they show the actual like cop footage of things. It's
Mhm.
like pretty gnarly sometimes.
Yeah.
But there was this one where there was this girl who was like shot and she is messed up and she is still messed up and all she was talking about was like light and like just so like a turning it was all God's plan and
Uh,
like all I kept thinking of is you have no human being has any personal accountability to you. Like, no, like the more you turn things over like that, like nobody has any personal accountability to do anything different.
yeah.
Like, and like, because God forgave me, like, I can forgive this man who like messed me up so much. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I can't listen to anything that you say. Like,
Yeah.
that is so like good for you.
Yeah.
You have that, but I
Yeah.
am so like that is so not where I am. It
Yeah.
was really difficult to listen to like this like all love and light even when
Yeah.
like the worst thing happens, like it's all light. Like I was just like I'm gonna like be like it was so like where you are like in another universe, you are
Mhm.
out to lunch,
Yeah.
you are forever maimed.
Yeah.
Like good that you've been able to turn this around for yourself, but like it's not
Yeah.
and like I could just feel like inside like there was seething like
Yeah.
and you know what that's the problem is that underneath all that love and light like it's so like it's so like intoxicating that like you're like what happens when you're not intoxicated anymore
Yeah.
like what happens when
Yeah.
reality sets in
Yeah.
because this is not reality this is like
Yeah.
some like this is some like Grimm's fairy tale you're in. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know, you know, like some
Yeah.
it's just it's a lot for me. And
Yeah.
it's a lot like I have never talked to anybody like there's been so many instances where you if you look hard enough, you always see that darkness underneath. Like you can always see it.
Yeah.
Like there's like this person who is all like love and light and blah 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 blah. And one of my really, really close friends had breast cancer and she died of breast cancer. And somebody who was like Miss Love and Light, like totally told her that it was something that she was thinking or something if she only thought right, she could like cure her own cancer. Like literally, I wanted to slap that person because you
Yeah.
don't think she's like trying her best. Like it's just you can always see that like ugliness underneath it. And you know why it's so ugly is because they refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And so it like festers like rotten trash. That's what it is. It festers like a rotten piece of chicken underneath all that facade of
Yeah.
love and light. And like I said, if that's what you're into, more power to you. Like I hope that you can keep that rotting trash at bay. Like I
Yeah.
hope that like all God's loveliness is burning out all the rot in your soul. But like I
Yeah.
don't see that.
Yeah.
I never see that. So
Yeah. I also think that nothing is one-sided, right? Like we as humans are we are darkness and we are light. And so ignoring that darkness is ignoring part of yourself. And I always tell people, like in my mind, when we get into these conversations, I tell them, like, you cannot be a magical being if you are completely ignoring half of you. Like, you have to accept all aspects of you in order to like step into your most magical self, right? Because if you're only like love and light and only believe in or like align with or work with the light half, you're working at half power. Like it's just, I don't know. And then yeah, like I don't know. I feel like we could talk about this
Yes,
forever,
we
but
could.
I I agree.
I know.
Um, I think we only have, let's see. Oh yeah, one left. Okay. So lastly,
Okay.
elemental considerations for the types of ick.
Okay.
Now, this could also be a very long discussion, but typically I see earth to like bury or transmute, air to move, fire to like destroy or purge or end, and then water to change now or dissolve, but the changing could be for good or for bad. It's just change, right? We're not talking about like a specific negative act. So me with the ick correspondences, I would say earth is to protect, air is to cleanse, fire is to banish, and then water is to bring in the good. And in my mind, bringing in the good is like the good emotions and the love and the connection to other people and like the happiness and these like positive emotions. But what do you think?
Interesting. I don't know that it's that clear cut for me because
Yeah.
so I was just thinking about Earth in general. Like I really think depending on your personality, the Earth can be like for me, it's such a source of goodness in my life. Like it's such a source of grounding and
Yeah.
calming, like a deep calming, like Mother Earth is such like a like when I can relate to that energy.
Mm,
Um, and I do relate to the idea of like transmuting and burying things to like more like to recycle or to like renew something or to like I like that idea of like
yeah.
composting. I love that. Taking something, but also even like a lot of people, I feel like there's so much crossover because air a lot of the times is to move or to like messages or communication, but I feel like especially with things like when you like we're I was just re-watching some of our old videos and the whole mushroom thing and communication under the earth and it's just so amazing. I'm really in like I have an earth sign from my moon sign. And I really I'm so earth is like really like when I turn like I'm really into that right now. Anyway, so then air like I air is like I agree with air moves and I feel like it gets in places that other elements can't take you. So like it's like this getting the smoke into every crevice or like breathing your breath onto something kind of covers it completely in ways that like you couldn't otherwise. Like even the way we talk, we put energy out into this world or sing things into like being or um I feel like air it's in yeah. And then fire, like we've talked about this already earlier, is that like we kind of have a different like
Mhm.
idea about fire. Like to purify, to I use it to like as like it can be used to destroy for me, but also I feel like it like changes things into something else. It can like change something and it can burn away the old, but also like to create like to reveal something new. Um and then water, like I look at water too, and I like I said, I feel like all of these can be like as like I feel like all of these can be bringers of good or or just like changers or destroyers, but in their own unique way. Like water, I feel like can be very like cleansing, even like showering, or like in some traditions, like they like in Christianity, they do like water like baptisms, or like but even like on your own, like having a ritual in the bath or the shower, like is so interesting. And so like I feel like water can, it can dissolve things, it can change things for sure, but it also can cleanse, and it can like water can like blow through and purge everything, like it has like power in and of itself. I mean, I just look at like all the elements, and again, goes back to intention for me, but I feel like they all have the power, like they all have like powers to do all of those things, but in very specific, unique ways, depending on your need and your intention and your desire and how you use them. So,
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to associate the element to the specific type of ick, but
yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Like,
Yeah, because it says elemental considerations for the types of ick. So I was trying to associate a specific element to a specific type of ick that we had talked about.
yeah, and I don't know that I specifically I don't know that I really even like, I think you could use probably any of the elements for, I was thinking any type of like, I mean, even like we keep going back to this, but just because it's so obvious, like in The Exorcist, like holy water, or like the naming, like using your breath. Like there's like so many like different like things that like you could do with any of these. I feel like depending on, I don't feel like there's a specific, like even, yeah, like I don't know that I think that one type of ick goes with one element, but
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I think that you could use them for, I mean, even if we're looking naturally, right? Like, yeah, with water, like we have tsunamis, which destroy. With air, we have tornadoes, which destroy. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I agree with you. I agree.
wildfires, like
Yeah.
earthquakes,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Anyway, that's rad.
That's
Happy banishing.
it.
Woohoo! We have finished the banishing section. And now we are going to go on to, stop the share here and like have a little talk so people can see us. Okay, so with that, we have completed like our banishing, and we are going to move on to the next step in getting the ick out, which is cleansing, which has a little bit of a different tone. It's
Yeah,
not,
very
yeah,
different.
a very different tone. Exactly. A much more cleaning tone.
Yeah. And I think we're planning on setting it up the same way, right? Like two herbs,
Yep. And then
or wait, two herbs each, and then also a practice, and then like a Q&A segment. I think is
yes,
the plan. Nice.
that's correct.
Thanks.
Awesome. So the next ones are going to be our herbs. So get ready. And we
Yay.
will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.